Cariboo roads can be narrow at times, and you might be wondering what you do if you meet up with a logging truck. Well, if you're me, you pull over and you get out of the way as much as you can. And if that's not a possibility, well, then you start backing up. In this case, I let gravity roll me back and up a little and onto the hillside. I thought that'd be enough. I drive down these back roads pretty darn slow because I'm looking for wildlife and listening for wildlife, and because of that I always hear these guys coming, and I usually have no problems getting out of the way. Yeah, there's still been a few times where it's gotten pretty tight. This happened to be one of them, and this time the last trailer wasn't going to clear. But the trucker stopped, and that gave me a chance to scoot further up the hillside and around him. Good driving on the trucker's part. And I didn't even need four-wheel drive. Anyway, I make room for loggers for three main reasons. Number one, I wouldn't have anywhere near as many roads to explore without logging roads. That's win number one. And the wildlife uses them as well. So two, they're on a schedule and I'm not. So if I can save them a little time, make it easier, I should. And three, simply size. A, it's a lot easier for me to move than them. And B, if it comes into a fight, I'm gonna lose. Anyway, 95% of the time there's plenty of room and it's not a big deal. This is a lot closer to what usually happens. The only time these trucks put me out, so to say, and that's in quotation marks, is if I'm behind them on a steep grade, especially a long one. It's not that these guys slow me down that much because I'm going slow anyway. It's just that it's a bit harder to spot wildlife when you're behind them. In these cases, I just find a place to pull over and go on a short hike or a walk and see what I can find. Then I get back on the road 15 minutes or maybe half an hour later, and it's a nice clear sailing. So anyway, that works for me. I'm usually by myself, but sometimes if I'm lucky, my wife and my pups are with me. Once a while back, before I brought cameras with me, I had to back up for like a quarter of a kilometer because, well, there was nowhere to pull over or just get out of the way, turn around. Anyway, might have been a bit slow, but it wasn't that big a deal. You're not crazy about the idea of running into a logging truck and having to get out of the way? Well, there's lots of other ways to go and explore. There's provincial parks, there's 2-lane back roads, there's mountain bike trails and hiking trails. Just lots of ways to get out. Anyway, I'm glad for logging roads and mining roads and ranchers roads and really roads of any sort, and I never get to see things like this if it wasn't for them.